Most people think that making positive changes in their lives and businesses is difficult, but it's easier than you think. Dr. Stephanie Aldrich created the Habit Formula book, and she wants you to have a free copy of it. In the Habit Formula, you will learn what habits are, where habits come from, and how to form new ones. Habits rule everything in your life, whether you realize it or not. Get your free copy of the Habit Formula today. Go to thehabitformulabook.com for more information.
Hey everybody, you know what time it is. It's lunchtime with the Habit Master. And I'm your host, Dr. Stephanie Aldrich, and I help people get results faster and easier than ever before, both professionally and personally, by tweaking their habits, tweaking their daily actions, their routines, their daily thinking, so that they can get those results faster and easier than ever before. So today's Friday, right? And I got my handy dandy Albert Einstein wig on, right? We're going to be talking about intelligence. So I want to kind of kick things off with starting with the 11 traits of the smarty patardies out there, the intelligent people, the people that innovate things, they come up with new ideas, and they make this place that we live in, called the earth, a better place to live, right? And I wanted to start today with just common traits. Through the whole month of September, every Friday, we're going to talk about a famous innovator, someone whose thinking was so crazy, so out of the box, so monumental to whatever period that they were thinking, the period that they were living in, that things are just, the place that we live in just isn't the same, right? So today, before we get started, I wanted to mention that today is Friday, right? And even though it's Friday, all you're doing is working for the weekend, right? You should still go and start planning your future. You got all weekend, right? Grab a free copy of my book called The Habit Formula at thehabitformulabook.com. What it's going to do is, let's say you're feeling stuck or you're tired of getting the same results over and over again. Well, we still have 4 more months left of the year, right? We're in the last quarter. You can make 2019 the best year ever if you put your head down and you start getting action. You start doing things, ramping it up. If you did 5 sales today, you got to double that or triple that. If you do those things, it takes more energy, it takes more planning, it takes more effort. But if you do more of how you're getting the results now, all you're going to do is ramp up the results that you're getting. It's just common sense. So if you need help in actually forming the habits, forming that routine to kind of get you all pumped up and get you better results, grab a copy. It's free. You don't even have to read it. Just fill in the exercises at the end of each chapter. This is basically my life story over the past few years. It's where I took myself from being overweight, of doing nothing but working all the time and not having a life of my own, or creating crazy videos like this, doing things that I really love to do. This is my journey. The exact questions that I asked myself and answered, and I still do today. I'm going to be filling out a section after this, after we're done with this video. I've got a client that I got to get her ready to go and jump into this material. If you just fill out these exercises, I guarantee next year will be different than this year. It has to be, because what we do is we focus on the areas that you want to focus on. It's going to get you thinking of, hey, Where do I want to put my resources? I want to lose weight. I want to be in a loving relationship. I want to get my house or my desk or the garage organized. It can be something as simple as that. It can also be life-changing. For me, it was a little bit of both. Losing weight to me, I've always been an up and down dieter, and I decided, you know what, I'm tired of being on that yo-yo train. I had to change how I was approaching food, and being a foodie that I am, I love food, I love beer, I love the experience that goes around with it, I love cooking, but I had to think a little bit differently, right? And I still enjoy those things, but I have to make sure that the food that I'm putting in my body is right for my body and my body type, right? So that I'm not gaining weight, I'm not getting too many calories, and it's not doing me any good. In business, I've used this method to condense what I'm doing, be more effective and productive during the day, and then I don't have to be here as much. And then I can make these crazy videos for you, make more books like this, make more programs, and it's not doing nothing but fueling my JoJo juice. That is what this is all about. So if you have something that you love to do, grab a free copy of my book at thehabitformulabook.com. Get a free copy today. There's no excuse. You can fill out these questions at the end of each chapter. You got to think about this. It's not going to be a 2-second thing. But if you spend about an hour of tonight or tomorrow morning when the kids are still sleeping or whatever, get your butt up a little earlier, grab a cup of coffee or tea, and fill these forms out. Really think about what these questions are asking you and how you want to change your life. So I'm done harping for today, okay? I want to get on to the subject that we're here for, okay? And we're going to start talking about the traits of intelligent people. And these are traits that, people that aren't intelligent, people that are average, okay? I only got C's in school, whatever. You don't realize that everybody has these 11 traits, but sometimes the more intelligent people use them a little differently. Sometimes they combine them. You don't have to have all 11 traits to be considered intelligent. People think that I'm intelligent, and just because of all the stuff I'm doing and creating, I have a successful business, I have a great marriage, a kid that is just, doing phenomenal in school. And the thing is, to me, I don't feel like I'm an intelligent person. I feel like I'm a hard worker. And I also like to try new things and to implement things that maybe are out of the box a little bit, but I like to try stuff. And if it works, great, and if it doesn't, that's fine too. But I never let any kind of failure, get in the way of what I want to do, right? So we're going to go over these. Let's see if you have any of these 11 traits, and let's see, hey, I do have some of these. Yeah, maybe I am a little smarter than I think I am, or maybe I'm smarter than what other people have said I am, and this will give you the confidence to express yourself, to maybe go for that job that you haven't tried to go out for because you didn't think you were smart enough or had the energy or had the sales skills. This is going to help you identify the 11 traits that they say are very common in intelligent people and see if you have some of these. You may have all of them. I bet you do. But maybe some are more prominent than others. So let's dive in. So the first thing, I was reading an article in Business Insider, and this is what the article was called. It was called The 11 Common Traits of Highly Intelligent People. So we're just going to go into them. So you have number 1. They are adaptable. Intelligent people are flexible. Especially if you're a business owner, a small business owner, you have to wear many hats, right? You have to deal with staff issues. You have to do all the marketing. You have to deal with patients. You have to deal with insurance companies, billing. There's always costs for running the business, right? Electricity and all that stuff. So you have to deal with the bills. Then you have to go home and be mommy or daddy, right? And there's different hats that all of us wear. Highly intelligent people, the smarty patardies of the world, they can be adaptable. They find like they're the chameleon of the group, and the reason being is they have to be, okay? Most intelligent people, maybe they don't get understood as much, and other people, kind of try to put them in a certain category or try to control what they're doing, and they find that they can adapt to different situations, but that they have to have that flexibility or, things won't work out for them. And that's something that you might be able to do too. And as a small business owner, you definitely are. Or even a mom. You got to be flexible, right? Because sometimes the kid everything's going great, and then he falls and hurts something, and then you can't go out that night because, he's all scuffed up, or maybe he gets sick, and, you were waiting to go out with your hubby for a nice dinner, and guess what? Those plans are blown. So as a mom, you definitely have to be adaptable, okay? So we're all intelligent, okay? Number 2, they know that they don't know everything. It seems like, you have the teenagers, remember we were all teenagers once. And I don't know about you, but, I thought I knew everything. My sister definitely thought she knew everything. And that's because you knew a lot of things when you were in a closed environment, right? Your parents did everything for you, right? They paid the bills. They made sure you had food. They took you shopping for clothes. They helped you with your homework. But then all of a sudden you get out on your own and you're like, holy crap, I don't know anything. You're calling at mom and you're like, hey, how do you do laundry? If I want to make spaghetti, how long do I boil the noodles? Once you're out of that closed nest, right? There's so much out there. It's the same thing when you're working for a company compared to if you're actually owning a company. When you're working for somebody else, they're doing all that other behind the scenes work, right? Which we just talked about a little bit. Paying the bills and marketing and, all that other stuff, dealing with insurance companies or with clients and patients and bills and, whatever. When you work for somebody else, they're taking care of all that stuff. When you work for yourself, guess who takes care of it? You do, right? So the older we get, I think we understand that the world is a huge place. We all kind of fit together as a team, with each other, with all different ages and races and sizes and creeds and all of that. But what we need to realize is that we don't know everything. That you may be intelligent, you may have scored high on an IQ test, but you don't know everything. And this kind of rolls into the next, number 3, the next trait, is that they have a high level of curiosity. Because they don't know everything, right? They want to learn what they don't know. What is it that I'm not seeing here? What is it that you're arguing with me about? And that's a pretty good argument that you have. What is it about? I'm reading a book now. It's called Mind Over Matter. And it's about, we're studying how, you've heard the common phrase that thoughts can become something real, right? And there's science that backs all of this up. So I just started reading this book yesterday, and there's science that backs it up, that once your mind starts using certain types of your brain for memory or meditation or anything like that, learning another language, the part of the brain that controls that set of neurons can actually become bigger. It can become stronger. It can build more brain matter in those sections of the brain. And what they find is people that are very curious, there's certain parts of the brain that has to do with curiosity. And the more intelligent the person is, the higher, the more developed those areas of the brain are. So even though the mind and the brain are two different things, right? The mind is more abstract, it's our thoughts, it's nothing concrete. Like nobody's ever drawn the brain or the mind before, right? Where the brain is this, thing inside of our head that's just this gray, wrinkly, switching board kind of thing. But they notice that the people that are more intelligent have a higher area of curiosity. So I just think that's so interesting that it's almost like, you're a weightlifter and you're doing your muscles, right? Well, after a while, what's going to happen to that muscle? It's going to get bigger. And our brain does the exact same thing because it's a living thing. It has cells in it. There's energy and that's being spent and also being forced through the rest of the body, right? So if you want to, identify with intelligent people, have a good sense of your curiosity. As we're children, we're curious about everything. Why? Because we don't know anything. Everything's new to us. As we get older, it seems like the curiosity, the creativity sections of our brain kind of get stifled because we're so worried about logic and reasoning and, doing mathematical equations, and you have to read this book and be very regimented on what you're doing. Stop doing that. There's a place for that, right? Everybody has to pay their bills and be logical about, saving some money and investing in it and, da-da-da-da-da. Increase your curiosity. Be a kid again. Go have some fun. Get your hands in the dirt. Do something a little bit different and experience that. Don't stifle it, right? And that's going to help increase your intelligence and also increase the neurons and the synapses and all that crazy science jargon, right? That intelligent people have. Increase your curiosity. Don't stifle it, okay? Another one that just seems basic is they read a lot. So they read a lot of books. A lot of people that are intelligent read all kinds of different genres. So, they might be in sci-fi stuff. They also might be reading a scientific journal. They might be reading, a recipe, a how-to manual about anything. How to put together a model car or a rocket ship or, whatever. They might love to do little experiments, and they do that with their kids too. But that's kind of a thing. You have to read a lot. I saw a study somewhere online, and I can't remember where, but they said the average American reads one book a year. One book. I just read one about, what was it called? Words that can change your mind. So it's about persuasion, which we talked about yesterday on the podcast, and how you can use different words to, convince people to, do whatever. And I read that in a day. Okay? If you read one a day, that's 365 days. 365 books, right? Let's say you read one a week. That's still 52 books a week. Let's say you read one a month. That's still 12 a month. That's more than one a year, right? Think of the concepts. Think of the ideas of other people, of science. Think of the things that you can learn that can help improve areas of your life. Different diets if you want to lose weight. Different ways to run your business if you're a small business owner. If you're a salesperson or an executive or a team leader, think of the management skills that you can learn from big companies, little companies, people that have blown up their businesses and become well known, and they teach you how to do that, right? For $15 in a book. Or if you do Kindle, a $9.99 ebook, right? Start reading more. Open up your mind and start thinking of, things that you're interested in and start reading about them. Read a textbook about something. Read something that you're interested in, and that's going to increase your intelligence, and you're going to find out that, wow, this is starting to pique my curiosity about other things, and then I'm going to read more, and then I'm going to realize that I don't know a lot about this certain subject, and that's going to help me become more flexible in different situations because I know how to react and I know how to get the result that I'm after. See how all these things work together? I told you they all work together. Number 5, open-minded. I think you have to be open-minded if you're going to increase your curiosity, if you're going to start reading and actually absorbing other people's thoughts, ideas, ways of doing things. I think the older we get, we have to be more flexible about things because, you start working with other people, you're starting to just be around other people, and, you have to be more open-minded. It's not your way or the highway. Now, we do get to a point that we are set in our ways, right? And I don't ever want to be set in my way. I really want to learn things the rest of my life and try to adapt, be more flexible, try to change my habits, my habitual thinking, the way I do things. And the only way to do that is to allow your defenses to go down and to actually absorb the thoughts and feelings and actions of other people, the way that they do things, their processes and steps, right? And you can do that because the smarty patardies do that too. Number 6. Most of the smarty guys own their own company. It's not that they don't want to work with other people, but most of the time that they know that they can handle all that other stuff that we talked about before. They can do some of the marketing. They can, do the billing. They can do all that stuff, but they want to do it their way. And that's not saying that they can't be open-minded and flexible and, learn other ways of doing it. They need to perfect things, but they feel like they want to do it themselves. They want to, open up their doors. It's just like me, doing this podcast right now. It's mine. I'm not sharing it with anybody. It's all my material. It's all stuff that I've seen, that I've been learning, and I want to pass it on to you guys, right? Just like my dental practice. I worked for a couple other people for a little bit, but I was like, you know what? The only way for me to be able to do the things that I want to do, I don't necessarily want a boss that tells me what to do. Okay, so that means I got to do it. And I want to do it, big girl, and you got to do it. Okay, so that goes along with all this other stuff. That doesn't mean you're not curious, that you know everything. That is so not what it means. It just means that you want to put your shingle out there and say, hey, this is my business. I want you to come and buy stuff from me. I want to help you, right? Number 7, they have a high sense of self-control. I'm just going to put control. What does this mean? This means discipline, right? Commitment. They can tell themselves something, set their goals of what they want to accomplish, and then they go do it, okay? They hold themselves responsible for their outcomes, okay? Highly intelligent people can do that, all right? People that want to be mediocre, they want to earn $50,000 a year, which is the average American, I think, makes about 58 grand. If that's you, that's fine. But highly intelligent people don't think that way, okay? They know that if they need to be disciplined now so that later they are rewarded, they can do that, right? So I knew it when I was in my weight loss journey that I had to eat a different way, right? And I held myself responsible for that. So what I did was I got rid of all the stuff that was bad for me, and I started making things that I could eat, right? I utilize the freezer a lot. I freeze a lot of stuff so that when it's time, it's after work, I've worked all day, I'm freaking tired, I'm not going and stopping for some kind of fast food or, some kind of takeout that's not as good for me. I can just warm something up that I've already pre-made, that I already know is good for me and will stick on, allow me to stick on my diet. You gotta be disciplined. This past weekend, I was out of keto pancakes, right? So I eat keto pancakes probably 4 to 5 times a week for lunch because I know what's in them, what the calories are, what the fat content is. They're made with almond flour, so, they're higher in fat and lower in carbs, right? Which is what I need to sustain my body weight. Well, I was almost out of them. Well, guess what? Even though I was tired, I just got back from a girls' weekend, right? My knees were aching, my legs were sore, whatever. I still needed those keto pancakes because I was on the last bag, okay, from the freezer. What did I do? I made my keto pancakes. Took me a half an hour, and then I was good to go. I threw them in the freezer, and now I'm set for the next 2-3 weeks, right? You have to be able to set yourself a goal, a target, something that you're going to accomplish today, and then accomplish it. Hold yourself responsible. And highly intelligent people do that. Number 8. They're funny. A lot of times, really intelligent people, maybe in school they're made fun of, right? And a lot of times their defensive mechanism for handling that kind of rejection from normal society is with a sense of humor, right? A lot of times it's self-deprecating, but it's with the sense of humor. So, if you're goofy, if you make fun of yourself, you make fun of other people, and you really don't take that, personally, you don't take it to heart, you're in that intelligence mode, okay? Number 9, they appreciate dark humor. So, maybe there's a joke or something and you're like, man, that's wrong. That's not right. That's not politically or socially correct. They still think it's funny, right? They think it's awesome. So sometimes you might have a warped sense of humor. Guess what? That's okay. You're using more of the right side of your brain where the creativity is, because you have to be intelligent enough to understand that that's wrong and socially, incorrect. You have to know what the correct stuff is and what the incorrect stuff is. So that's where the dark humor comes into play. Number 10. I'm going to put people down here. They want to know about other people's experiences. Sometimes highly intelligent people tend to stick with themselves, and that's in one way because maybe they're a little socially inadequate. But in many other cases, they are people persons, right? They are curious about other people's experiences. They want to know, because they have a higher curiosity level, they want to know, why are they getting this result and I'm getting this result, right? They're intelligent. They want to know about things. And the only way to know that is to get in someone's head, ask them questions, to meet them, take them for coffee, get around them and start digging into how are they getting the results that I want? How are they doing that? And then they, open up their mind and they allow all that information to blend in. The last trait of smarty people is they think out of the box. They're creative, right? They know that because they're flexible, sometimes they got to think of, okay, we got to put duct tape on this to fix this up, right? I use duct tape all the time in my office. If I can't fix it with duct tape, then I have to get a professional to come in and help me, right? I'm not too good with the electric stuff, but if there's a dent in the wall, toothpaste is good for that. It hardens up just like spackle, right? So, you have to think out of the box. As a small business owner, you have to put out fires all the time. The staff, they're fighting with each other. The patients are ticked because of the bill or something, insurance didn't pay for something, or whatever. You're always constantly putting out fires. And trust me, that really requires a lot of creativity. So these are the 11 traits that I know every single one of you has multiple, if not every single one of these traits, right? So that makes you intelligent too. Don't get in the mind frame that, I didn't do as good in school and I can't, be the CEO of my company because I didn't do that well, or I can't be the manager because of blah, 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 blah. Get yourself out of this mind frame. This is what we're going to be talking about for the next month, is about people that had all these traits or had some of them and maybe more, a higher level in some traits than others. And they still did remarkable things. A lot of these guys didn't even graduate from college, right? But they were so creative. They thought out of the box. They developed their curiosity, that these guys have made a difference in the world that you and I live in. And that's what this is all about. It's not about, oh, well, I'm not intelligent or this and that. No, every single one of us has these characteristics of what they call the intelligent group. Sometimes you're just not developing them on a level that everyone else can see, right? And that's your fault. Quit being a victim of things and start developing this stuff. Reading is going to help you do that. Find something that you love. Maybe, you fix cars on the weekend and you want to start learning about more mechanical engineering and things like that. Start doing it. Nobody said you can't buy a textbook on that stuff and start reading things. Start thinking of, about different solutions to problems that are in your business or in your life. Relationships. Maybe you're curious about, long-term marriages that last 50 years and what do those people do compared to what I'm doing? Read some books on there. There's thousands of studies that you can see online. And nowadays, it's just a click of a Google button. Get on Google. That's why they made Google, okay? It's a huge yellow page, right? Everything's indexed and you can quickly look up studies and books and stories and all kinds of information that will help you develop all of these traits. And that's what this whole podcast was about. It was about giving you the awareness that all of us have these 11 traits. All you have to do is get in there and start expressing them, right? Start developing them. Make them strong like the muscle on your arm. Start pumping that mind, get the mind workout going, right? So let's go over the 11 traits real quick, and then we're going to wrap things up. So you have 11 traits of the Smarty people. 1 is adaptability. They're flexible. 2, they know that they don't know everything, right? 3, they have a highly developed sense of curiosity. Because they don't know everything, they're curious about things, right? Number 4, they read a lot. They absorb information from their environment, written and experiments and all kinds of things. They read a ton of different things. They absorb the ideas from different people. Number 5, they're open-minded. To be all of these other things, you gotta be open-minded. You have to not be so opinionated and you're right and this is how it's supposed to be. You gotta open up your mind and be a little more flexible and intake different people's ways of doing things and their thoughts and ideas, right? Number 6, they usually own their own company, okay? They want to do things their way. That doesn't mean that they're not flexible or curious about other people's ways, but they want to see what they can do and try to matter in the world, right? Number 7, they have a high level of control, and all that means is they are disciplined. They give themselves a command, a goal, a target, and they put their resources into trying to figure out what they have to do to hit that target, and then they go do it. That's the difference. Remember the 3 pillars of success. You've got mindset, which really is 2/3 of all of it, right? Mental as always. Second is plan, and third is action. They already have their mindset right. They've made their plan, and the control, the discipline is they actually take action towards that plan. Okay? Number 8 is they're goofy and funny. 9, dark humor. You know, it's inappropriate stuff, but they think that that's funny. 10 is they really do want to learn about other people's experiences, about their feelings, about how they got where they wanted to go. And that equals increased curiosity, right? And open-mindedness. They want to absorb from other people's histories, experiences, and knowledge, okay? And then number 11, they think out of the box. They love to be creative and try to do it their way, try to do it a different way. They don't like to follow the herd. So that's it for me today. Thanks for watching. If you guys want to listen to the podcast, we're on iTunes and Spotify. Just look for the Lunchtime with the Habit Master episodes so you don't miss any of the episode videos or podcasts that come out. Also, we're on YouTube. Go under Stephanie Aldrich, the Habit Master, and look for all kinds of videos. Not only do you see the Lunchtime with the Habit Master videos, but I have tons of other videos that I've been shooting. I just shot 4 today. I'll be editing them and getting them out to you guys on the 3 pillars of success, of mindset, of planning, of action. Okay? Because I want everybody to have just as much success as I'm having and as all of these smarty petardies are having, right? I want to help you guys. If you guys have any issues, any questions that you want me to address on any of these shows, go to Stephanie@powersourcemedia.net. Shoot me out a line, and we'll try to answer it on one of the episodes coming up. So if something sparks your curiosity, you want an answer for it, we can dig in. Or if you've got an idea about a podcast coming up that you would love to learn more about, shoot me out an idea. I'll do some research on it, and we'll get all this stuff out to you. Okay, so I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. I know I will. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. And remember our motto, let's build good habits together. I'll see you soon.